Ladies and gentlemen, the pleb is back. In this report, I'm going to recap my last couple of weeks on the campaign trail and react to some of the best moments we had on stream. Also tonight, a liberal Mark Carney supporter gets busted on camera breaking multiple signs in Markham, and the story ends amazingly as this idiot got arrested. Also tonight, Pierre Poilievre is surging in the polls and surging on Polymarket after the conservative leader did 3 podcasts this week in which I would like to say, I told you so. You won't want to miss this report. Stick around. Before we get into this report, please smash subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Over here on this channel, I am going to give you the best updates here on this election in Canada with a little twist of humor and trolling the libs. Well, folks, it looks like the Pierre Poilievre comeback is finally happening here in Canada after the country completely lost its mind over Trump tariffs. It appears that nature is finally healing. After jumping up 4% on Main Street yesterday and coming within 0.4% of tying things up, well, would you look at this, folks? Pierre Poilievre has finally taken the lead on Main Street polling for the first time since this election was called. And over at my sponsor, Polymarket, by the way, this episode is sponsored by Polymarket. Thank you very much for sponsoring this channel. It appears that Pierre Poilievre is surging over there too after the latest rounds of polls, which Pierre Poilievre in the last 4 days has come back from 22% on Polymarket all the way up to 11%. The market apparently thinks that Pierre Poilievre is going to crush Mark Carney in the debates, and I have to agree with them. And looking at this chart here with this comeback just gives me absolute hope. And with the Pierre Poilievre comeback in full swing here in Canada, well, liberals on X do not appear to be taking it very well. Liberal influencer Evan Crimshaw had this to say: if you people don't stop effing tagging me about what Main Street is going to show tomorrow, I'm going to block every single one or effing one of you. I don't give an F. Shut the F up. The liberals are melting down on X again over this election. I think we are so incredibly back. Now, this comeback from Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives does not surprise me whatsoever because their lead, the liberal lead, made absolutely no sense to begin with. I mean, how do they deserve another 4 years after what they did to our country? But another reason I was not surprised to see this comeback is because I have been live streaming at the rallies for the last couple of weeks, and the turnouts have just been incredible, truly mind-blowing, record-breaking at every stop. And during these rallies, I want to share some of my favorite moments with you, and I don't think I'll ever top this moment here on stream where I got a shout out from the next Prime Minister of Canada's wife, Anna Poilievre. Look at this. This was just epic. Everybody move to Pierre. Look at this.
This same Liberal team who has weakened our economy, left us with unaffordable housing, rising crime, and vulnerable in the face of the threats of Donald Trump.
This crowd is huge. Okay, guys, move over to Pierre's stream, okay? Yeah, look at the crowd.
Going to put Canada first for a change.
Look at this. Here we go. Yeah, this crowd is insane. Hi. I can't believe she said, "Is that the pleb?" in the middle of a speech on the campaign trail. Just crazy. Just crazy. Hi. Hi, guys.
All right.
3 years ago.
Guys, moving over to Pierre's team.
3 years ago.
Incredible, man. The fact that 5,000 people were chanting my name, how is this even real life? Amazing. And I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to the staffer who allowed me to climb up on this platform and create this epic moment here on stream. Shout out to Pierre Poilievre's team. They have been nothing but amazing and rolling out the red carpet for me wherever I go. Love them. And now that the conservatives have brought ladders and raised platforms for content creators to show how big the crowd size truly are at the Pierre Poilievre rally, well, at the Windsor rally, I saw a ladder and decided to climb it like I was at the main event of WrestleMania because I had to get the crowd going.
Go up here. All right, let's go hype up the crowd. Let's go. All right, chat. We're going up.
I gotta go.
We gotta go up.
No, you gotta go.
All right, we're going up the ladder.
Love you, Mark.
We're on the ladder. Look at this crowd. Look at this crowd. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Look at this crowd. Let's go! Get rid of the liberals! Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Yes! How epic was that? Let's go! Look at the size. It's just so huge in here. All right, we're coming down the ladder. Nobody's.
And during that stream, people started clipping out the ladder climb scene here, putting it out on social media. And Mario from the North even said, is the pleb the best hype man in any conservative rally history? He's got everyone going nuts in Windsor. Thank you for the kind words, Mario. But how about you guys tell me in the comments? Am I the best hype man in conservative rally history? Tell me in the comments down below. And at these rallies, people are making signs for me too, like this year with the boomers for Pierre and saying they're standing with the pleb reporters. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for the signs. The fact that you guys are asking me to autograph your shirts, your posters, your hard hats will never stop being crazy to me. And to everyone I took a picture with, I love you. Don't be shy to ask for pictures. This is what I'm here for. All right, enough with the rallies. Let's move on to our next story. Now, with Pierre Poilievre packing rallies across the country and the Liberals allegedly ahead in the polls, well, the left is behaving in a very, very weird way as a conservative candidate in Markham caught a Mark Carney supporter destroying conservative signs all over his riding. He emailed this to me this morning, and I gotta say, this is not behavior of people who are ahead in the polls. Look what they are doing to the conservative candidate in Markham.
Nice to see you, Alex. Is there any reason why you're smashing all my signs along Steeles?
Yeah, because your fucking party is evil.
Okay, so that doesn't give you the right to smash all my signs.
This is public property. You're polluting.
It's not. I'm not polluting. It's not.
Yeah, you are.
No, it's not. Listen, it's not private property. It's public property.
Of course he has a Palestine pin, right? Of course, because of course.
Been smashing all my signs along Steeles. Okay, I've got multiple pictures and videos of you doing it. So, if you disagree with something that we're doing, or if you disagree with something that you don't like in our platform, you're more than welcome to come to the office. You're more than welcome to talk to me about it. Have a civil conversation. But smashing my signs is completely unacceptable. I think
And of course, this liberal dude has two purses, right? He's got a Palestine pin. He has two purses because of course he does, right? This dude's wacko.
That. So it's really unfortunate that you've chosen to do that. Do you have anything to say for yourself, or for the sign that you just literally grabbed out of the ground? You've smashed all of them. Look, you tossed them back here. You seem to like smashing conservative signs. You know, I mean, you claim it's on private property. It's not. So is there any reason?
No, it's public property.
It's public property, yeah. And it doesn't give you the right to smash them.
It doesn't give you the right to put your sign on public property.
Yes, you're allowed to do that. We're in the middle of an election, sir. So you can absolutely do that. What do you have to say for yourself, Alex?
Your party is evil. Full stop.
So because you think my party is evil, you like to smash my signs?
No, I know your party is evil.
Okay, so why are you smashing my
Brainwash.
signs? What does that have to
Brainwash.
your belief? What does that have to do with you smashing my signs?
It's not a belief, it's a fact. Your party is evil.
The thing is, if by your logic, why didn't you break the other signs?
I have been tearing down every single
Well, how come the liberal signs don't keep going down?
Pattern is only conservatives. That's
Oh,
what the
because your party is the problem.
Look, I'm the local candidate. You're more than welcome to come talk to me about the issues. Well, I don't think you want to talk. You'd rather smash my
talk
signs.
to lobbyists.
Okay, well,
Because your party works for money.
Listen,
you
I-
serve the rich, not the people.
This dude literally looks like a soy jack. He he literally looks like a soy jack meme, chat. Oh, okay, they're fast forwarding it. Now the police are coming. Oh well, look at this here. This is gonna get good, chat. This is
How are you guys?
here we go.
How are you?
Good.
how you doing, officer?
Hello.
We're the ones who called it.
Okay.
So,
What's happening?
It's election. Yes! Yes! Oh, yes! Finally! Finally, some justice. Beautiful. One thing about this video is I thought the candidate handled himself really, really good. And if you guys want to support him, you could go over on X and follow at Lionel for Markham. Now, this guy goes by the name of Alex. You heard the conservative MP candidate call him Alex by name, and the internet dug up some rather crazy stuff about him. Let me show you this. Now, apparently, they found his Facebook, Alex Curley, but this is where it gets nuts here as he puts his previous work experience, and guess where this dude worked in the past? He was a former deputy returning officer at Elections Canada. You heard that right. A dude who goes around destroying conservative signs worked for Election Canada. Is that not insane? And to no surprise, we did a little more digging, and apparently this absolute lunatic, mentally ill person uses they, them pronouns on social media. It's all starting to make sense. And this they, them who destroys conservative election signs is known on the protest circuit as Karima caught video footage of him in July 2024. Look what he had to say. The dude is nuts.
Oh, wait, here. Do you need a job? I'll give you a job, buddy.
What?
Here, I'll suck your dick. Whip it out.
excuse me.
Oh, your eyes are beautiful. I bet you're a grower.
Crazy.
Normally this is 200.
So this is who the Canadian government hires to count votes in the ballot boxes at the polling stations during elections? Are you kidding me? They allow mentally ill people like this to count the votes? And I'm supposed to have faith in our democracy, which I do, but when they hire people like this, it makes me lose faith. Canada, We have a serious problem. And the liberal desperation doesn't just end with them destroying campaign signs all over the country. They are now trying to frame conservatives into appearing absolutely insane. Look at their latest tactic that they got busted on. I can't believe the CBC is the one who reported this story, but they did. So I'll give props to the CBC for actually reporting this. But apparently at last week's Canada Strong and Free conference in Ottawa, Liberal Party staffers within the Mark Carney campaign were busted planting these buttons, "Stop the Steal," trying to make conservatives look like extremists who do not believe in democracy. The games that these people play are disgusting, but we all know that they've done this before. I mean, who remembers when the Liberals sent this obvious actor and plant to the Freedom Convoy to try to make the protesters look like extremists, trying to get the public to turn against the protesters? This is right out of their playbook. Look.
Now he's going. Now he's gone. We called him out. He knows.
See, like, and at today's press conference, Mark Carney addressed this scandal where liberal staffers were putting buttons trying to frame the conservatives at their convention. And look at what Mark had to say. A lot of pause, nothing. But yes, this was his answer.
Members of the Liberal War Room, so the Central Campaign, distributed Stop the Steal buttons at a Conservative event. Given the anti-democratic implications of this phrase, how much does this event undermine the trust in the way that the Liberals operate, and what have you done in response to these revelations?
Thanks for the question. Look, this is totally unacceptable, to be absolutely clear. On behalf of my campaign, I was unaware of this behavior, but on behalf of my campaign, I apologize for it unreservedly. Okay. I've made it absolutely clear to my campaign that this behavior or anything approximating it or in that spirit is unacceptable, cannot happen again.
I would rather be sent to Guantanamo Bay than listen to Mark Carney speak for 4 years. But guess what? There was absolutely no consequences for the behavior of these staffers, as reported by Stephen Chase, who said, Liberal leader Mark Carney apologizes for campaign staff distributing fake buttons featuring Trump-style language at Ottawa Conservative Conference. Now look at this quote here. The responsible people have been reassigned within the campaign. They didn't even lose their jobs. They faced no consequences. They got reassigned to a new task within the campaign. These liberals do not believe in responsibility or accountability, zero morals, absolute scumbags, and absolutely on brand for the liberals. And Mark Carney was up to more nonsense this week, as from the sounds of this clip, he's probably going to ban X in Canada if we wins. The stakes of this election have never been higher. This Mark Carney dude is a legitimate monster. Look.
Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate.
Large American platform. Which large American platform do you think he's talking about? It's obviously X.
All its forms. And they're being used by criminals to harm our children. My government will act. And today we're announcing our plan to fight crime, to protect Canadians, and to build communities that are safe, secure, and strong. A plan to make Canada secure, to make Canada strong.
Okay, make Canada secure by removing free speech. These are absolute tyrants. These are not good people. This right here is evil. This Mark Carney guy is dangerous. He's evil. He is going to destroy our country harder than Trudeau destroyed it in the past. But another thing about Mark Carney, that I've noticed is that this dude is not a real leader. As you can see at one of his events the other day, he gave a speech to the crowd here and just storms off as soon as the crowd is done. No handshakes, no pictures. The dude is a piece of shit.
Send us to Ottawa to stand up for Canada, build a better country.
Look how he just walks away. This dude is not a leader. Imagine electing this guy instead of Pierre Poilievre. Wake up, Canada. Wake up. But enough with Mark Carney. Let's move things over to Pierre Poilievre, who had an absolutely astounding week, by the way, where he appeared on 3 podcasts. And shout out to Pierre Poilievre not crossing his legs like a girl, like Trudeau and Carney do. Respect. This is how you command a room. Alpha male behavior, by the way. And the reason being is because Pierre Poilievre's appearing on podcasts. I've said this in the past. Pierre Poilievre needs to show his human side. The media just show him as some conservative monster. But Pierre Poilievre was able to defeat the media with their propaganda, going on a podcast and showing his human side, and nothing shows it better than this clip here, where Pierre Poilievre talks about the struggles of raising a 6-year-old who is autistic and not verbal. Look at this. This will warm your heart. Shout out to Sean Parrish over at the Knowledge Project, by the way. Great episode. Go check out this interview. It's incredible.
We have 2 great kids. We've got little Cruz. He's 3 years old. He's very ambitious, curious, inquisitive, and I know that he's going to do great, whatever he does. I think he'll be a merchant or something. He likes to trade. If he wants something from you, he'll pick something else up and bring it over and offer it as a trade. So maybe he'll be a commodities trader or something. And then little Valentina, she has some special needs. She's 6 years old and she's nonverbal right now. And so she has a hard time communicating with us. But we've learned to take her cues and really celebrate the raw authenticity that she has. She's totally real. Like what you see is what you get. And that's what I love about her. She has none of the games that people play to put on an air of this or that feeling. She's just like, you get exactly what's inside her is what comes out of her. And what's special about that is when she gives you that burst of love, it's like really powerful. But I also think about like what's her life going to be like? How is she going to pay her bills when she's older? What will her life look like when she's 60? And I probably won't be around by then. I was a late bloomer. I think I was 39 when we had her. So when she's up in her years, I won't be there. So I think about how do we build up a nest egg for her so that she can have a good life. And then I think about a lot of other families that are perhaps not as fortunate as us who have a child with a disability. How do they pay their bills? And so I think it's given me a lot more empathy to the different challenges and hardships that families have to fight through.
There's a lot going on in everybody's world, and we only see what goes on in our world.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. So I think having kids and experiencing some of those challenges, it helps you to empathize with other people who are out there and fighting their own battles.
I knew.
This is a side of Pierre Poilievre we've never seen before, and quite frankly, you'll only see this side of Pierre Poilievre on podcasts. I mean, long-form discussions is the only place where you can have these real conversations like this, and it makes me think now with Pierre Poilievre's daughter with special needs. You guys remember when the media were melting down that they were not allowed on the tour bus or on the campaign plane? Well, hello, media. Maybe it's because Pierre Poilievre has a special needs daughter and needs to look after her and wants his privacy with his family. Maybe that's the reason you weren't invited on the bus. Hello. And during this interview, by the way, there's many clips that are going to come out, but an interesting one was Pierre Poilievre talking about the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and how much he despises everything they stand for. Pierre gets extremely based here.
This is between you and your opponent, Mr. Carney, is you've said no to the WEF, whereas he's heavily integrated into that. Why do you have such strong feelings on that, and how does that impact everyday Canadians?
I just think it's an organization that has a very top-down mentality. I don't believe in top-down. I don't believe that there's this sort of group of globe-trotting experts that can tell us how to live our lives, that can, who can tell us which industry should go up and which should go down, what cars we should drive and what words we should speak and how our money should be spent. Yes. I really believe in distributed decision-making, personal freedom,
yes,
letting people live their own lives and chart their own course. The other thing I've found is that, I've been around politics a long time, so I've met a lot of these people who are considered part of the elite, and I talk to them and I ask them questions, and then I go out to my constituency and I talk to truck drivers and mechanics and farmers, and I find the latter group is actually smarter. Now, they don't.
Now, how many times have I said this? I have these conversations with blue-collar people my whole life, and I truly find that they are more intelligent than these people with PhDs, these academics, these university-educated people. The working class has so much more wisdom than them. It's not even close. And shout out to Pierre Poilievre for calling this out. He is on the money, and I've been saying this forever. Let's go.
Don't use all the same fancy language.
Exactly.
But if you
just like this channel, I don't use fancy language on this channel at all. I'm not trying to sound smart. I'm just trying to talk to you guys the way normal Canadians talk to each other.
You ask them just sort of nuts and bolts type questions. They're smarter. Like, Mr. Carney, for example, told us in 2021, don't worry about inflation. There won't be any inflation. We should print even more money. Well, he was totally wrong.
Of course.
Like utterly wrong. It's a jaw-dropping mistake, and with huge human consequences. In my riding, when the money printing started, the quantitative easing, I was getting farmers and small business owners saying, there's going to be inflation, there's going to be inflation.
Yeah.
So how is it these people who don't attend lectures and don't go to international summits knew more about the real functioning of the economy than all of these so-called experts? What I think is we need a government that's humble and leaves people their money, their freedom of choice, control of their lives, and lets them make their own decisions. And that's my philosophical difference with that group. And it's I believe in the common people.
Yes, this is it. I believe in the common people too. This channel is for the common people. And for those of you who want to watch this podcast, okay, it is incredible. There's so much gold in here. Go over to the Knowledge Project podcast. The man, his name is Shane Parrish. He has 321,000 subscribers, and this video has 127,000 views in one day. Go and watch this entire interview. It's absolutely incredible. And whoever chose for Pierre Poilievre to go on that podcast over at the Conservative team, bravo. Well done. You picked the perfect platform for Pierre Poilievre to go on. Everybody, go watch that interview. And before we wrap up today's episode, our last segment of the night will be Pierre Poilievre's appearance on French television last night, which was so incredible as Pierre Poilievre got absolutely based when it comes to immigration. But before we get into that clip, I want to show you guys Pierre Poilievre's entrance onto French TV. It honestly made me crack up. Okay, here we go.
Pierre Poilievre.
French TV, man.
Pierre Poilievre.
One more time. It's just so funny.
Poilievre.
Oh, man. I just love the entrance. Like the WWE. This was hilarious. And someone over on X clipped both Pierre Poilievre and Mark Carney's entrance, and look at the stark difference between them, as Mark Carney doesn't even shake the hands of the hosts, because you know what? They're below him, right? Mark Carney does not even like his own people. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Here, I'm going to put my head down here, but look. Mark doesn't even shake the hands of the hosts. Just walks right up to the podium. Look, Pierre Poilievre, man of the people, greets the hosts. Mark Carney doesn't even shake their hands. And he went, and look, Pierre went and shook the other host's hand right here. Look, he went and shook both hosts' hands, and Mark Carney's just standing there like he doesn't give a flying F about this. Oh, man. Canada, it's time for a vibe shift. Let's please elect Pierre Poilievre. I cannot do Mark Carney for 4 years. And I'm going to show one clip here from this interview last night on Tout le monde en parle in French Canadian TV here in Quebec, as Pierre Poilievre spoke to the people of Quebec here and told them he is going to fix this fake refugee asylum mess, which has completely destroyed Quebec and ruined the fabric of their society. He is speaking their language. Look at this.
Ma femme est venue ici comme réfugiée. Il faut que l'entrée soit légale, aux portes d'entrée reliées. Et il faut aussi éviter les faux demandeurs d'asile. On a eu des faux demandeurs d'asile qui sont venus de Mexique et d'autres pays auparavant. Ça fait en sorte que le Québec est au point de la rupture maintenant. Donc,
yes, we are on the point of rupture. Quebec doesn't even look like Quebec anymore. It looks like the third world.
Il ne faut pas permettre des gens de venir ici qui ne sont pas, en effet, des vrais réfugiés. Il faut les permettre de venir ici de façon légale et ordonnée et traiter leur cas très vite pour ne pas avoir des faux demandeurs ici pendant longtemps. Ma femme est venue ici comme réfugiée.
Incredible. He's speaking the French Canadians' language here. They're done with immigration, and Pierre Poilievre is going to fix this immigration mess. And I asked my father this morning, I sent him a text, asked him, what did you think of Pierre Poilievre on Tout le monde en parle last night? Because my father's a French-Canadian boomer. He's as French-Canadian as it gets. And I knew he would be watching this. And I asked him, what'd you think of Pierre Poilievre on that show last night? In which he responded, he was very good. Now, this is coming from a man, my father, who's been a leftist his whole life, who told me from watching my channel, by the way, that he donated to the Conservatives for the first time ever in his life. But Pierre Poilievre is reaching regular people and winning over people who don't normally vote Conservative. And this gives me absolute hope for the future. Pierre Poilievre is going to do much better in Quebec than the people think. Trust me on that. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's episode. 33 minutes at the time of recording this. So you're a legend if you still stuck around. But I want you guys to tell me in the comments, what did you guys think of my campaign coverage so far in these epic moments on stream? Do you guys want me to keep going? Are you enjoying these streams? I want to hear it in the comments down below. And what did you guys think of this liberal sign destroyer? Was watching him get arrested absolutely satisfying? Did you enjoy that? And what do you guys think of this guy working for Elections Canada in the past? Does this make you worried about our next election here? I want to hear your feedback in the comments. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with a new episode, and I'll be debating both the French debates and the English debates this week on the channel. And if you guys want to support my work, the best way to do it is like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about the Crazy Pleb on YouTube. My name is the Pleb, and I'll see you guys at the next report. Peace.